Good evening, everyone. December 6th, 2017, 6 p.m. in the afternoon. And all members present. Dennis, Mike, Gil, Bill, Chip, Marianne, Carol, and Mr. Sandler from Whitman Hanson. And we'll start the meeting right off because Ernie's here. He'll talk with us about what he wants to talk to us about.
Okay, good evening, everybody. Mike, I don't think I've ever met you, Ernie Sandler, Whitman Hanson. How are you?
I know you.
What we've run into at the Indian Head School is, there's no other word for it other than cloudy, brown colored water throughout the building. So what we did is we communicated with the water department, spoke with Carol and the other girl in the office whenever we had an issue. And I kind of tracked down to issues that the district, I would say the water district had by the dates. And it actually, it happened in reverse because we discovered the problem and then we found out that there was flushing on the week of 10/23/17. There was a house fire on 10/26. There was a water main break, and I put National Grid, but it's Columbia Gas that was doing the work out there. And that was on 10/26. And then the water main break on 11/8/17. And then there was the new connection, or maybe an existing, I don't really know the details as far as Camp Kawani, but there was a water connection there. And what we continuously had is brown water in that building. We didn't have it in the pond, which is strange, because that is typically the bastion. If there is a problem, it's going to happen. It'll be in the pond. So what we end up doing is we purchased water, and because teachers were concerned, we couldn't even like in the kitchen area for vegetables. We couldn't use the water to rinse the vegetables. We had to shut down the dishwasher because it was causing problems with the machine and the chemicals. So we ended up going to styrofoam for an extended period of time. And we also had a water analysis done. I took samples and brought them to analytical balance because of the concern. And I had everything tested. But to turn that over in a quick amount of time, it just doesn't happen. You guys are in the water business, they just don't, because of the chemical process, because of the scientific theory behind it, it just can't be done overnight. So we brought them in, it was on, sample date was on 11/2/17, and we finally got the report back on 11/8/17. So there was an extended period of time that we didn't use the water other than flushing the toilets over at Indian Head School. So we purchased water from Costco, and we also, so my request, I'm not going to beat that horse anymore, my request is for the district to get reimbursed for the money that we've actually expended. We spent a lot more with staff going over there. We've actually, with Belmont Springs, we would bring 5-gallon containers over to the cafeteria, the kitchen, and what they would do is they would use that water to rinse the vegetables. All we're asking for is, like I would go to Costco, I went to Costco twice, and we would get, it's actually a pretty good deal there. We would get containers of water, they're the small ones, I think they're the 8 ounce. For 80 of them, we were paying $6.99 a case. So we weren't just going out and, hey, let's go get Baldwin Springs and, well, get Belmont Springs to go over there. We tried to be as conservative as possible. But unfortunately, there is a cost, and it continued. So the reason I'm here is to ask you to reimburse the district for that cost. secondly, to find out what is happening, and are we expecting any future problems with the water in that area. I know there's some things you can't control, and I think I've identified some of those as we tracked it, and we had the bad water problem. And I know there's a lot of conversation goes around town, but with the students and the staff there, especially the students, the visual thing for them is very important at a young age. And their taste is driven by the visual part. So if they see dirty water, they're not going to drink it. So in the nurses station, we brought in a water cooler with a 5-gallon jug for her, because she dispenses a lot of pills during the day. So she had to have potable water, clean water, to give them. And then what we ended up doing in each classroom, we put a case of the 80 bottled water. The kids didn't go out in the corridor as much as they used to, but now they had the water in the classroom. And we shut off all the bubblers in the corridor. So again, I don't know if you can make the decision tonight. I think the district is just looking for what we spent on this, and if there's, if you do see more construction coming up, or things that are down the road that could help us prepare for that. Because we have new water heaters over there. The Renai water heaters are very sensitive, and the silt from that got into those, so we had to flush them down. Because what we noticed, after the water cleaned up, the hot water lines continued to be a lot more cloudier than the fresh or the cold water lines.
Let me ask you a question.
Yeah.
When it first happened, did the water department get called?
We called every time it happened, we called.
Did anybody respond to the school?
Not the first time, but,
Well, if there's dirty water, why wasn't the school notified? I mean, why didn't somebody go up and check it out?
well, we weren't aware of any dirty water at that time, other than when the school called. Like, nobody else was experiencing the dirty water. But the only activity that was going on was basically the gas company. And they hit it 3 times.
Well, that's why I'm asking Ernie, did you call the water department
Yes.
to go up and look? Did anybody go up there? This is what I'm asking.
Stephen went up there Friday to look, because they had it at the McQuon School.
This was it started when, the 2nd, you said?
Our original started in October 23rd.
Yeah, I don't think anybody went up there then, because we were in the middle of flushing, and that was the cause of the dirty water.
Done. We originally.
Well, then there was a fire,
Yeah.
Right.
and there was nothing in McQuon. I just think somebody should have gone up there and done something with the school at that time when it was first found out about it. And you say Stephen went up there, the first person that went up there?
Yeah, which was last week.
Well, last week that was December, right?
Right.
This happened when?
Well, it started in October 23rd.
That was a Monday.
But if it was caused from flushing, I mean,
Right, we didn't,
you know
yeah, we
people
knew
were gonna
it.
have dirty water from flushing, so if they called and like Carol told them, well, we are flushing, so you do have dirty water, but, so it's not like you don't know what the cause was.
Yeah, I know, but I'm just thinking if they just went up last week and the thing happened back in October,
Well,
Last week was a
they
different
went
story.
up last week because there was nothing done at that time. The day or two before, nothing was broken, so we sent them up there to take a look at. This is the sample that they took when they went up there.
well, that wasn't like it was when you saw it, right?
No,
I don't know.
no. No, McQuon, that's McQuon's sample.
Yeah.
I've been taking samples of Indian Head whenever we have an event, we take a sample. And all day, we would have a white container and the sediment would settle. Again, it's a visual thing. We had the water tested, there was really no problem with the water.
I know, that's what I was
We had the
gonna
water
say.
tested at the height of its ugliness.
And there's nothing wrong with it.
There's nothing wrong with it.
I know,
In fact,
I know.
if you look at the results, it's pretty damn good water.
I know,
But it's a visual thing. The kids see the dirty water. The cafeteria people see the dirty water coming out of the faucet. They're not rinsing vegetables with it, no matter what. And in that time frame, I didn't have an answer for them. I took the samples in their analytical labs. I can't tell you if it's good or bad. When we finally got the samples back, I go, the day I got this sample back, I have an email that I sent to the superintendent, principal at that school, notifying them that we are removing the bottled water from the classrooms and taking the restriction off the bubblers because it's good water
It's
and the
good
water's
water.
clear.
yeah.
But we had no idea before that. But let me talk about the communication we have. When we call here, we talk to Carol or the other girl in the office and let them know. Also talk to Chip and let him know that we're out there flushing. And I didn't think it would last as long as it did, but it was periodic. One day it was good, the next day it was bad. One day it was good, the next day it was bad. So it was systematic of something happening. But the communication was very good with the water department, but we just had to figure out what the issue was and when was it going to end. And it finally ended, and then the other day McQuan crept up, called the office again. Chip sent somebody over to McQuan School to look at the sample, and the teachers on the lower level are jumping up and down that, we have really bad water here, so we need bottled water. So that's what we did. We brought bottled water over to them.
Yeah, McQuan.
At McQuan. But Indian Head's not a problem. So it was just bizarre.
Well, I think by looking at this, it's probably all these events that happen, because, it's just right in a week.
Yeah.
And the only way to ultimately stop that altogether,
Mhm.
because stuff happens in the system, is put a filtration system in it. That's the only way if you're worried about the kids seeing the color and not drinking it, or they're not using it. Because in the water system, you're always gonna have something going on.
The sample from
Periodically.
Yeah. But that's probably not, is that what you tell all your water customers?
No, I'm just saying, if you're worried about, because the water is fine.
Well-
And you're worried about a little discoloration every once in a while, I mean, it's gonna happen.
Mike, that was not little discoloration. The adjective was, that I would use, is significant.
How was it back when we had the tank issues? Did you guys have a lot of
We
issues?
didn't have a problem at Indian Head, we had a problem at McQuan. So, all of that was, again, we did a constant flushing, and we did shut the bubblers off, and we did supply potable water. But this was since October 23rd, and it just seemed like every day was another event. So I don't want to waste your time. I know we would like to get reimbursed. If that doesn't happen, we completely understand, but the communication between the water department and the district is very good. And whenever we have an event, we find out about it. And this just happened to be an anomaly that just continued. Like I said earlier, McQuan School seems to be the school that everything happens at. I just couldn't believe Indian Head was having brown water.
All right, Ernie,
All right?
well, how much money was it?
You have it
You have that?
I've
You
got
should
it,
have
I
that.
don't know, I didn't open this up.
here,
So I got it here probably.
yeah.
So it's $1,203.23.
Because we've never done that for any residents.
What is it?
$1,203.23.
Oh, there- discuss that later on tonight.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks, John.
See you, take care.
All right, bye, honey.
Hey, how about you?
We haven't done it for any residents.
Well, yeah, I'd say it's,
Yep, here.
Thank you.
Well, I don't think it's
Ciao.
we want to reverse
Also, we
the
can't,
water.
technically, we can't pay it back.
No, we can't, because then anybody else, if anybody else finds out about it in the town,
No,
they're gonna be pounding on our door saying, hey,
No, all you can do is supply
Yeah.
water and they give to you water. And we should have water, we don't have this many people.
so is the other person here?
Mhm.
Yes.
You know, we should have water here. So I don't think we should.
What, for supplying bottled water?
Yeah, like what DP, what we did the last time, right? DP told us to get water for
Yeah.
people.
DEP told us to do it.
That was
Yeah, but
a different, that was a different
Circus.
scenario.
Yeah.
That was the whole town for 3 months.
But yeah, this is the only the school is, but nobody else, any of them complained about water that day, those days.
Yeah, but I mean, there were events that happened during this
Yeah,
time.
those
so,
are events
I
beyond our
mean,
control.
Plus, yeah.
We had flushing on them.
And I didn't know that anybody had groundwater when we installed the line, you can't.
I, like, you're right.
Katie did have some dirty water
The
and,
filtration system.
obviously.
No, if they're worried about that, that's
That's
the
it.
only way
You never
to,
have to worry about
And
it.
then Indian Head Street,
that's the only way to guarantee that.
Yeah.
that's where it is, Katie did.
Yeah, it's off Indian.
And that's, you know, it's kids.
Not
So
everyone, there was like maybe one or
That's the
two.
easiest
Yeah.
solution right there.
Yeah.
So the third
It
break,
would be an expense, but
they didn't get dirty
Yeah.
water. Well,
When they did hydrant flushing, see, they got it on a Monday, but
I
they
don't-
didn't flush
what was the
hydrants over
date of
the
the
how much
third
would
break?
the system
I
cost?
don't recall.
$5,000.
Well, he was saying the water main break at the town
Yes,
hall
'cause
was
it's
on
a
November
big
8th.
filter.
And then there was the break from National Grid on October 26th.
You're not
Then
gonna-
the town of Hanson resident fire on the
Oh,
26th,
So
the same
in
day.
between the 8th and the 26th, there was another break. They broke the main.
Might spend 10 and built it.
And that's Columbia Gas, the national grid.
Well, yeah, he was saying Columbia Gas broke the line on 10/26, and then on 11/8, it was the water main break in front of the town hall.
But there was another one in
It
between.
was in between, one in between, he
There's
didn't
three
get dirty
breaks
water.
there. Maybe they didn't get dirty water that break.
Yeah.
And that break was fixed during the day, right?
Mhm.
Yeah.
Two. One during
We'll
the
have
day.
to
two
discuss
at
that
night.
later.
Yeah, let's discuss that later.
You wanna bring,
Yeah, I'll bring it.
what's her name?
Mrs. Newcomb.
Mrs. Malcolm?
Yeah.
See here.
Big person, though.
This is Mrs. Newcomb from 20 Park Street.
Good evening, Mrs. Newcomb.
Discuss her water bill.
Didn't realize there was gonna be so many of you here. I was nervous when I walked in, now I'm.
So the meter was,
Nothing there.
Well, I went and got a printout of all of my, we've lived in this house for 47 years, I've never had an outrageous water bill. And I went to the town hall and I got a printout, and you can see, it only goes back to 92, but you can see we never used, and years ago, we had a pool in the backyard, that once in a while, we topped it off. That pool's been gone for years. So, I don't understand this at all. It's just myself, my son, and my daughter that lives at the house. My husband passed away. I have a gym membership because of the illness that I have, so I do all my showers at the gym. My daughter was in the hospital for 2 months during the summer, so she wasn't showering. So, I don't know what the problem is. I'm afraid to turn water on now.
Did we go out and do an inspection in the house?
Yeah, the meter was replaced as well.
No toilet leaks or anything?
No, there's nothing. I mean, I would know if there was any leaks.
So a lot of times you can't
Yeah,
hear
a lot
them.
Well, there's, a lot of times it happens, you can't hear the leaks.
But wouldn't I see water in the cellar or
No.
see water?
No, it
No.
doesn't run there. If you've got how many toilets have you got in the house? Just one?
Two.
Oh, two?
And they're,
Okay.
they're
can't
not
see.
high efficient, what do you call them? They take less water.
Yeah.
Right,
Yeah.
the water savers.
Efficiency.
That you got.
But that toilet can run 24 hours a
But
day, and you
it's
can't
not,
hear it.
because I've had people check it, it's not running. Nothing's running. I've got an energy efficient washing machine with front loader which uses less water, my dishwasher uses less water. I don't understand this at all.
It was estimated before.
Right, and that,
Okay, before.
that's an issue as far as, they would get it's an old ARB style, where it's very finicky. So they would read it sometimes, and they'd get a reading, and other times they wouldn't get one. So it would end up getting estimated.
So it was estimated, what's EM?
Estimated and it's a minimum bill because it's under 1,500 cubic feet. Estimated it's a minimum bill.
So is that the reason? Because it was all, but there should have been a catch-up right here, but there wasn't.
Right.
Is there an EM missing out of that, maybe?
Mm,
'Cause that's what would explain it. Because how could you have all
Well-
these estimated,
Right,
Right.
because they're all.
it'd all be the same?
Because they're under 1,500, the Ms are under 1,500 cubic feet. The ones that just have the E are higher than 1,500, it's not a minimum bill. You see what I'm saying?
Yes, but there
What?
should have been a catch-up. If you guys finally got a reading back in September of 16, there should have been a catch-up there, but there wasn't.
That was 923,
It was back.
right?
Right, yep.
It was back to 19,
Mm-hmm,
and then another estimated, and then all of a sudden wham.
yeah.
So I'm thinking, it's gotta be the cause, if there was no leaks,
What?
that it's a catch-up because it's been estimated.
Well, it runs from 2013 to
The
2016.
meter is on the counter out there, if you want to go look at it.
That's 4 years,
No, there's
right?
no reason
Yeah.
to look at, I'm just saying,
Yeah,
if
Well,
it,
2014 and 2017 is, most of it's been estimated.
What's it reading, the dirty
What
three?
does the M mean?
It's just a
Minimum
minimum bill.
balance.
Minimum.
So this was an actual reading
Right,
here,
yeah.
and an actual reading here, and an actual reading there.
Correct.
We should have caught it up.
Mm.
So when they did that, I don't have my glasses on, I should
Mhm.
pull them out. So when they read that one, it was an actual bill for the 119.
Right.
So then not the one I just got, not the 900 job, but the 109 one, that was estimated.
Mm-hmm.
And then we got, I mean, you can look and see, I've never had water usage that high, never. Even when I had 4 small children at home, I never did.
that's why again, I don't know. When it does the EM, is that automatic?
Yes.
Or you have to punch it in, right?
I punch in the E, but the M comes up because it's a,
Because it's a
they
minimum
consider it a
below.
minimum bill because it's under 15.
Okay.
That comes up automatic.
And-
Again, I'm just saying this,
Uh-huh.
could that have been an estimated, but it didn't punch it in? In between the, you know what I mean, the where?
Yeah,
That one there?
920,
The one,
That should have
September
been
2016.
an actual though, right?
right. It doesn't say, I mean, like I say, it wasn't, we didn't estimate that one, I mean, if it was estimated.
Yeah, it should have caught up.
Right.
Or something went wrong between here and there,
Mhm.
you know, between
Yeah.
that reading, the one that they just recently got and the estimated one.
Mm.
because
I
if it
mean,
wasn't toilet leaks, that's the only
obviously,
thing.
on March 30th, 2017, they did not get a reading then.
Correct.
So maybe some of this 1250, 12.5 could have been, you know what I mean? It could have been
Back
Yeah,
then.
some of
back
that
on
could
that
have been
one, could have been
incurred.
back on that bill, it could have
Gotcha.
been.
Oh, yeah, could it, I mean, yeah, we're just all
Yeah,
guessing. but
right,
I'm just trying to figure
trying
out
to
what
figure it
could
out,
have
but
happened.
yeah, I mean,
What is a B?
just needs that.
Oh, okay.
So technically, all these are estimated readings from 3/21/16, no, 14,
Mhm.
to date,
Other
except for
than-
the last one.
Yeah.
Except 2016, that was a regular normal reading.
Right.
So, let me ask this, Carol. So
What?
all the estimated bills,
Mhm.
okay, going back to 2010, say,
What does that mean? Malfunction?
does the increase in the water rate go on the estimated bill too?
Yes.
Mhm.
So I'm not-
Whatever,
See
whatever.
what they're saying?
So,
It's possible that
so I'm agreeing with the catch-up, something's
the
catching
bill
up.
for there could have been
I mean,
occurred,
for a maximum
estimated, so it could have been
2007,
400
700 gallons,
Yeah,
which was
but
a
right
national
here,
reading.
I'm very confused, right
Right.
here was a normal reading.
So it's only
Okay.
off.
Yeah, the 1900.
Right,
That
and
was
then the next one they
6,000
did it at
gallons, so if you
1600,
add-
but you still don't go from 1900
Say,
normal reading, even if a
excuse me,
full year would
excuse
be
me,
38, not
cubic
to
feet.
12.5.
What they're saying
So
is
if you
that
add
was just an estimated because they didn't get a
another
reading. So what
6,000
they're saying is like
feet,
half of that could
spread
have been
that over, you
occurred.
see what I'm saying? Oh, it's pretty period of time,
Because,
you'd probably be right.
I know it didn't.
Yeah,
well,
like I
well,
said.
the only
um,
problem is, that's an actual reading
don't
from the
Yeah,
meter, so
I mean,
that's.
If the meters work, it was
That
an
last
old
estimated
meeting.
reading, maybe,
Well, if
maybe that's
it's
when the
re-
problem started, or maybe, I don't say problem, but maybe,
It could have started anywhere between here and there,
right.
if there was one.
Yeah, well, like I say,
Have we tried to change this meter? Have we tried to?
They did change it.
No, I realize that,
Oh,
but.
prior to
pre-
that?
Yeah, prior to it,
Uh,
have we tried to get in there and change it or no?
that I
don't-
can't tell you. I
yeah.
mean,
I've
we
heard
have-
nothing about it.
We have left door knockers on accounts that have had estimated
Estimates.
readings for 3, 4, 5 times. But I don't believe any door knockers have been put out in the last year, really.
Well,
Because we're
yeah.
still trying to decide whether we're going to another meter or whatever, so. I don't know. It's- Like I say, the meter's on the counter, and I can only.
Well, we've never had a meter go bad. In other words, everything that a meter reads
Okay.
is what's there. Now, whether or not we can take that and break it down between 2014,
It
2017.
just doesn't make sense to me, I'm sorry.
Yeah.
And I don't have the money to pay this bill. I had to go to town hall yesterday, I gave them $150. That's all I have. I don't have any more money to pay this bill. That is an outrageous water bill for 3 people. When my daughter was in the hospital for 2.5 months, and now she's back in the hospital again. There's no way we use that amount of money. I mean, water, absolutely no way. So I don't know what the problem is.
Well, my opinion is it's a catch-up, it's a catch-up on
Yeah,
estimated
well,
bills. And
It wasn't caught at the beginning, and it wasn't
Just-
caught at the last one to catch up on it.
you know,
Well, that was kind of my point when I asked,
Yeah.
have we tried to get in there? If we haven't, then my opinion is it's our fault. I mean, it should have been changed. If we've been estimating it for a long time,
3 years.
you know, it's
True.
our fault.
Well, the estimated ones are the ones that we normally go when we blue card and we go to attack them, but I've backed off the couple of months
Yeah,
because
we
I didn't want to
decided-
throw a bunch more of census ins
Yeah.
and,
I mean, obviously, we haven't got in there to replace it, but, it clearly states that on your bill, it's estimated reading, please call.
Yes, but the average person, I'm sorry,
Yep.
does not know that. When you get your bill, you get your bill, okay? And I'm sorry, part of this might be my fault, I've been going through a lot, I just lost my husband, I had my daughter in the hospital. Previous to that, I lost my mother, and just before that, I lost my father. So my mind has not been, I paid my water bills, if there's an E on it, I had no idea what it was, I didn't even know it until the people that come out and changed the meter showed it to me. I had no idea. No one has tried to change this meter until I called with this water bill, hysterical that it was that high. I mean, if I could sit here and say, okay, yes, unfortunately, we're not supposed to be ran outside water, which we don't. Or, you know, my son takes a 3-hour shower, which he doesn't. Or if there was a reason that I had a leak or something, then I would justify it. But there was nothing to justify in my mind having a bill like this, nothing. You can see the water usage, we don't, you know,
Yeah, because even if these are estimated and you go back to the ones that were actually read, this is like double of what it, if it was catching up what it should have been.
My opinion, this here's probably the norm, right? There's the norm.
Yeah, that's what I'm looking at.
the high ones could have been when we had the pool.
When did you get in the pool? Because I'm looking at the 2012, 2011 area.
Now, the pool was gone before that, probably,
2007.
yeah, 7 or 8 we got.
Yeah, because I see them 6,700, 4,000.
Yeah, that would have been because we topped off the pool.
2000, so you got rid of it probably in 2000, after 2010.
Right.
Right, so if you go from here, yeah, see, they had a rating of only 200.
Well, that's because no one was living at the house.
Oh, okay.
My husband and I moved into my mother's house,
Right,
so
this
nobody
is-
was at the
this is
house at all.
block right here. 2615, 2615. And then this is when they weren't.
We were out of the
yeah.
house for a whole year
So you're
living
looking
at
at
my
these
mother's
two,
house.
these two numbers.
Yeah, but the meter, on the reading that was done on 9/23/16 should have caught it up.
It should have, that's if it was an actual reading. Which I don't understand. How it didn't pick it up.
I'm willing to
Unless it's a
bet that
bad
was an
meter.
estimate that the E's just not there.
I
Because
could have, I mean, I
it
could have.
it looks.
Well, you don't know for sure, so I shouldn't be penalized for that.
No.
It jumps to this.
What if you take this, what's this, 33? Is it 8? I can't even read
It's
it.
336300. I can't see how. I can't
And
see how-
subtract from it
12,500.
What I'm saying is,
31,
No, I didn't see
if
what
that's
you
an E, then
700.
those were
But
all
apparently it
estimated.
wasn't, and they got a reading then, so.
See, Bill, if you take that reading
Yeah.
and subtract this one from it, and divide it by 1, 2,
The last
3, 4,
actual
5.
reading?
The last reading before they put the meter in, right?
I haven't got a bill with the new meter.
So,
30, no, but before
The
that,
last actual meter, the one that said it was red was that 200 usage.
just looking at the usage when we took the meter out, like, 2 months later. We took the
Just
meter out,
subtract this one.
2 months
Huh?
later.
Yeah, so if I
She's
take,
used 1,100 cubic feet, so that means
33,
her bill would be around 33, 3,500 next time around.
minus
3,500
31?
cubic feet.
yeah, 30.
So that's-
then.
33,
That's still,
Is there, does there is a leak?
0,
No.
maybe there
It's
is.
23,000.
Well, in 6 months, she'll be using 30,
It's
she'll
at
be
23,000
using like 3,600.
cubic
Right,
feet.
but
Yeah.
that's, like, that's way down.
We'll divide that
Right.
by
Usage is way from
Right.
over 10 years
One,
ago,
Well,
like,
two,
there've
yeah.
been more,
four,
Yeah, but
five,
that-
much smaller.
It still could have been
6,
something
7,
with that meter.
7.
Now I have a new meter, I don't know what the reader is now, they put the
That's what,
reading in there.
but she was just saying, on the new meter, you've already have,
That was the, when we read it, and it was
Divided by 7
3363,
months.
we
That's
took the meter
32.85.
out 2 months later,
Does that follow on
and the
through?
reading was 3374, so
readings?
she used
No.
1,100
No.
cubic feet in like 2 months.
Still high.
on, but
On
on.
that
Because on
meter.
average each year,
On that meter
Right,
there.
through
right.
this section before they
So,
weren't looking at the
You know,
house,
in 6
it
months'
looks
time, it'll probably be
1,100
around
in 2
36.
months.
I want
Yeah.
to say
How long has this new meter been in?
4,100.
Since November
year.
15th. Maybe we should go read it tomorrow.
I was gonna say, get a
Well, I'm
reading
not
off the
gonna
new
show
meter.
tomorrow.
No, you
You
don't
don't
need to
have
be
You
there.
don't have to, the new
That's
meter,
all
they
right.
could just drive by
Take
the
a reading
house.
from outside.
Yeah,
I
let's-
How
should
long's
have-
that meter been in?
Yeah.
Since November 15th.
Okay,
Almost a month next week.
almost a month.
Yeah.
well, we got a month.
Yeah, we can compare after that.
Why don't you take a reading off at that for the month?
I should have had it go
And see what
straight
we
away,
get.
but I didn't. Huh?
Yeah,
Yeah, we'll do
So
that.
where does that leave me?
Well,
well, if we take that one, take that reading and see if that reading coincides, if you add up the number of months that these other ones weren't read.
So you're saying from, she's using 1,300 cubic feet by 230?
Well, that was off the old meter though, so.
That's using, that's off the old meter.
yeah.
So.
Is that a lot of water? I don't know.
That's potential, there's a problem there.
Yeah, that's a little.
Well, it's gonna, obviously it's gonna be higher than, you know, her estimated 2,000, 1,100. It's gonna be up around 3,600.
It
But
won't
see,
be-
you took a reading
It won't
at-
be 12,000, but it.
Right.
You took a reading
Higher.
at 33,300,
Mm-hmm,
and there's a reading after that that's not on the sheet, right?
right.
So
Which,
it's just 1,300, yeah, 1,300 cubic feet.
But if you take that math
that
that
was
she
the
just
reading,
said,
the 3,374, which is on the meter up there now, when, after 2 months, I think.
1,100 cubic feet after 2 months, what's that equate to?
So in 6 months, you'll have used like 33, 34, 3,500.
and if you do that math
Right,
back
that's not-
to 2014 and add
Right.
that to each
From
billing,
the actual readings, that's not.
it would be
far off.
probably the 12,000.
Correct. So,
So still, no matter what, it's a potential problem with the house.
I don't know.
Well, we can, said we can,
So what do you, what is it you're saying? You feel that I owe this money?
well, we'll see what the new meter
What
says
the
and see what
usage
that
is,
usage is,
and
but
then we can tell it, you know.
Well, am I gonna get, I don't have the money, so I can go take out a loan to pay for this if I owe it. I don't understand why I would owe it, but I paid $150. Am I gonna get charged interest and penalties for not paying the full thing?
no, I mean, we still have to talk about it.
Still have to talk
Yeah, so
about
that's-
it.
We'll see what that
There's
meter
a
reads.
logical explanation. Meters don't usually go bad. It's always
Oh, that's not
amazing.
what I was told.
They-
but
they go-
I was told that they do go bad, they can,
They slow down.
whatever.
That's what-
I don't-
Actually,
You
an
know what?
older meter, you would be using less water than a new meter.
All right, you know what, I
Because
don't
an old
mean to sound
meter
stupid,
goes
I don't
slower.
understand all of this.
I know.
Talk to me in dollars in the sense, if you say how much, you know, when you say cubic feet of water I've used, I don't know what you mean by that either. I'm afraid to turn the water on now, to be honest with you. I yell at them for taking a shower, you know, I tell my son, make it fast. I've got one of the energy efficient, rain shower heads that, you know, supposed to use less water. I've done everything I possibly can.
What's 1,100 cubic feet of water?
It's $104.50.
So in 2 months, $104. So if it continues, we're talking $600-800.
No, I'll tell you.
Just let's figure this out so that we can,
Hold on a
let's
second.
get rid of the dollars and cents
Yeah.
if this is what's happening.
Well, it's every 6 months, so if it's 100, what'd you say,
For
what's
the-
104
times a year?
312 is a lot better than 900, whatever.
No, but what we're thinking is it's over that period of
But
time.
that's not-
why,
If,
but that's kind of, we're just trying to come up to
Right.
a reasoning, that's all, trying to
if
figure it out.
she keeps using, you know, 1,100, whatever, 3,600 cubic feet is $225.
It adds up,
Yeah.
big time. But I still, again, what I said earlier, I still think it's our fault for having estimated so long. I mean, that's why the bill is what it is, but I mean, you would have been paying higher, you wouldn't have been paying $90, you would have been paying $200 or $300
Right.
over every 6 months, not, 95.
Not getting it. Yeah, for it.
I'm, you know, I get my bills, I pay them, I don't say it should be high. I mean, at the time too, I was also living at my mother's and I was back and forth. And I lost my husband, so I didn't know what I was using. I went by the bill. I didn't even know that the E meant estimate. I never, to be honest with you, I never even saw the E on it until the person that came out to change the meter said, oh, you have an E on your last bill.
we'll check it on, we'll check it and read it.
We'll read it tomorrow, see where she is.
Yeah, and see where it is,
What's your phone number?
and figure out from there.
Call me at 781
Mm-hmm.
864 2468.
Call you and see. See if you put them in and take it under advisement, I guess.
So where does, can you just tell me where does this leave me? What are you thinking, what do you think might happen?
We'll compare the numbers and, I don't know, we'll have to do a vote.
Let's see whether it was a bad meter or
See if it was a
actually
bad-
because it wasn't being.
Or whatever
read.
it was. My own, I had a neighbor come up, lives next door to me, and his bill was $400 for 6 months. He complained. And come to find out, he'll have an $800 bill this year. Well, 400 this time and 400 the next time.
Right, but-
He'll have an 800, and he thought it should be cut in half. Well, it's the meter. It reads the amount of water
But
they
the point
use.
is, if the meter is just catching up now, that's not my fault that I got all these estimated bills. I don't have the money to pay this bill. You don't get it, I don't have the money. If I owe it from now on, I know that, okay, your water bill's gonna be more than it has been. But I just assume because my husband's no longer there, my daughter's been out, I'm not showering at the house. I just took all that into consideration.
But yeah, we should have been trying to get in to read it, because now it's playing catch up.
Yeah, and that's not, I'm sorry, that's
No,
not.
that's not right.
No, it's not fair to me.
No.
It's not fair to me. I mean, I don't mind paying what I owe, but you can't,
Can't ask for all of them now.
no.
Because the Carol will call you after they take the meter,
See what the meter reading is.
and they'll find out what you used in the last.
But that's fine, I
We
understand.
have to
But-
take a vote on this, we just can't give an answer.
No, I understand that, but, so you're gonna read the meter tomorrow, but what's that got to do with the bill that I already got? I don't understand that.
Well, one thing, it may find out if you have an issue in the house. Because if it's a very high usage, then
You could have something that
You
happens.
could have
Carol's gonna call
something
you and say,
leaking
hey,
that you
know,
don't
something's
know
going
about.
on. But that'll help you in the future, but this we need to iron
what
out,
they can do.
figure out what we're gonna do about it.
See, yeah.
Yeah, because if it's high and there's only 1 or 2 people in there, then there's something going on. Because that could explain that. But again,
Well, I'm
If it
still
fl- if
doing
it
laundry,
fl-
I still have to run the dishwasher, so yes, I am using water.
You
Yeah.
still need fluid, right? And do what you have to do.
Sometimes I run the water.
So, let me call you tomorrow, and we'll go from there, okay?
They don't need to get in the house, but
No.
if they do, just let me know what time.
Yeah.
it will be.
Yeah, no,
They can
we're
read it
fine.
from outside.
Yep.
Only if you want, if there is an issue, if you want them to come and see if they can find an issue, then they'll come in.
Well, if you just let me know what time they're coming, I'll be there. The only time I won't be home until like 10 in the morning. Other than that,
Yeah,
I can
okay.
be home the rest of the day.
Sure.
All right?
Oh, okay.
Thank you, everybody.
Thank you.
Thank you.
All right.
Thank you.
Bye.
I mean, if we hadn't been in
We've talked
there
about this, estimates have gotta stop.
3 freaking years.
They've gotta
But-
stop.
I understand that, but some, well, Mike, you work in the water department.
If I
You
get
know,
billed for $900, it's on your head.
it does clearly state on the bill, it's
No,
estimated
that's, it's the
readings.
nature of the beast though, too. I
Um,
mean, sometimes it happens.
I hate to say that, but it's
I know it's the
there,
nature of the
it's,
beast, but
no,
I mean, it
How many
was
years
for
has been
3
going on?
years.
My bills look good, almost identical.
Nobody, not everybody reads.
Yeah, not
what they
everybody's gonna
should.
know what it says. Oh, what does an E mean? Oh, they're not gonna call
Right,
it.
unless
I didn't notice it.
unless it's like in red, if it says, not emergency, but, this is an estimated bill in red on a blue bill.
I only
Maybe
started
they'll see
looking
it
at
then,
it.
Or maybe it needs to say, as an estimated reading, please contact us to get into your home to accurately read it.
If you
Because if
open-
this goes for 3 years and
you
all of a
open
sudden we
up the
finally get in
envelope,
to
you
get a
just look
reading
at
and
the
it's
Put the number, you
shit.
pay it.
And
Yeah,
you
that's
pay
what a
it.
lot of people
I mean,
do.
yeah, it's our fault for the last 3 years, we
And
haven't
once it's like
been
on the board, then
on
I
a
look
go
up
to get
and
in.
What the hell's going on?
You,
But if she did use it,
I thought it was just like a year.
you gotta pay for it. But it- again, it's not fair that she gets hit with it,
But so you
3
don't know
years
what
worth
your
of
bill is?
catch-up,
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Oh.
you know?
Spend
well,
my
it
kid
is
freaking
sort
one
of,
of these.
it is.
well, my neighbor's
It is.
kids, my neighbor's kids, 2 of them, they were taking 20-minute showers.
Yeah, but if she's got nobody there, I can't,
Right. if she's got nobody there and.
See, now, if that new reading comes in and it's low,
If the meter's running,
And-
I want.
there's gotta be something, either something wrong with that meter that it's
I think
skipped.
I
Is it an old
almost
dial?
to pay it,
No, but it's pretty old. I mean, the meter's probably, it's gotta be 20 years old at least.
Do you think maybe the meter could?
Almost identical. I've never
Usually
had to
slow
go
down.
to.
Yeah, they go slower.
That'll go slower.
Trust me, I'm trying to get rid of all these estimates.
know,
They
it's-
are, because this
I
is
know,
the
it's
problem we have.
Yeah.
Yeah.
This is,
Just
once
talked
we
about
get
this,
into
and we don't-
change the meter, or if they're selling the house, we need to get
Fat
in there.
cash when she.
And then all of a sudden, they've got a $4,000 water bill.
And it's still the old ad, just something we kicked around, we talked about, we
Right.
haven't proceeded with it.
Well,
Because we haven't advanced.
either
as
that,
far
or if they're at the house, they can't get a reading, if there's a car in the yard, knock on the door, hello, I'm the meter man, can I come in and read your meter? Leave a door
And you gotta
knocker.
understand that some people will not let you in,
I know,
which is, hey, you know, it happens to us every day. I
Right.
mean,
or,
But if you have an
know,
appointment, then they know who's coming, not just a blind knock. But some people, hey, welcome you right in, but
I know.
I don't want that shit in my house.
Did they ever change just the readers on the outside?
it's
I
the new
swear.
style. It's-
I just finally pulled off the old one where you had to lift the cover and plug in.
That's the one
I
I
finally just pulled
used
that
to
out
have,
of
I
the house.
thought.
Yeah,
The black
that's the
Neptune
kind
one,
that her meter
casing.
was.
Yeah.
You
And
might
when-
have had a
When you
Proctor
pop
meter.
that cover, that,
Well,
if that
I-
doesn't
I'm
read
on board with
properly,
one, so-
Oh, you are?
you know, then you have to go in to read it. You know, there's no
I had
other.
But
to
these guys
cut the
read it,
wire
right?
out above the
These
fuse
guys
box.
read them now.
I don't
Pull it
know.
out.
I believe so.
The wire's still across the thing, so
Yeah.
it drops down. You just
I'm on
cut it
Amazon,
back
I'm
on.
It's,
They
I
read
thought
mine.
the enclosure on the outside of the house changed,
Right.
and then
We've got 3 abatements and 1
Yeah.
change order.
Okay,
someone else waiting? No?
What's that?
I thought I seen another one.
yeah,
No,
3
that was
abatements.
union.
The first one is,
I have-
908 West Washington Street, the water is off, it's coded off, but a bill got sent out by mistake.
Where is it?
908 West Washington.
Do we have it or no?
It's an abatement, he's signing it. Do I have a motion to abate this, or?
Yeah, I'll make a motion for abatement for, who is it? Franklin
Harvester?
Harvester, 908 West Washington Street. Do I have a motion?
What's 908?
It's a little old fire station, next to the
Okay.
DS's auctioneer house.
I'll make a
So
motion.
what was it, we just sent, they had already shut it off and we still sent it up,
Yeah.
misbilled?
Right, they never. Dennis?
All in favor? Aye.
Who seconded?
Yeah, who seconded it?
I'll second.
Okay.
Okay, Bill seconded. Dennis made the motion.
Okay,
You get the next one?
yeah, there's two.
What was the amount on this one? 104?
This was 82.
This one here, same thing. It was an estimated reading too high, we got in, changed the meter and got an actual reading.
What was that? What street was it?
Wasn't the line with the other ones.
I'll have a motion for
We just need 3 signatures, or you want?
Yeah,
Michelle
Anybody else want to sign it?
Karen
yeah.
at 726 West Washington Street. Everything seems to be coming from West Washington Street on these abatements.
Well,
This
Yeah.
one's only for, well, it's 100 and, oh, Christ. I'm gonna give up my
Let me see.
eyes.
I'll read it for you. 135.76.
Okay.
is that the abatement?
Yeah.
Adjusted amount,
That's what it says.
135.76.
That's what she's paying, what's the abatement?
Excuse me, abatement amount, 316.07.
Okay,
And I'll have ask for a motion for that.
Motion to approve abatement.
mhm.
Second by who?
Motion made by Bill, seconded by Gil. All in favor? 5-0.
So, you need to sign it. Have another one?
Yes.
And you got one more?
One more, 173 Azalea Drive. Brian Crenshaw, same thing. There's an estimated reading, he brought his meter reading into me. And, the reading obviously was too high, so. Got a motion to do that, okay?
Motion?
Who gave the motion?
Second by Gil.
This house has been sold or something?
Second by Gil,
No.
for Brian Cranlin.
It's got an old meter, huh?
What is the amount of that abate, I can write it down.
Abated amount is $275.87.
Okay, thank you.
It's the change orders for, so,
It's gotta be signed.
yep, all the tabs.
What is that? Oh, that's it. How much is that for?
The 166.
Oh, okay.
The three of them.
Yep.
What was the change order for?
All of the valves that they put in, the, you know, the emergency valves and stuff. It goes back
Oh, yeah.
to July.
Three tabs.
Gerald. I have a brother, Gerald.
Good name.
Yeah.
Gospel. Bag of reds, all reds. You know.
Hot.
No, it's all the red flavors. I like red.
Would you
dye.
just assume we all like red?
I like red food coloring, so. When you buy what you want.
I do.
I'm bringing a bag next week.
There's 2 bags in there right now. Mixed, the originals plus all red, so it's dig deep.
He must be rich because he throws away the stale ones. I mean,
They weren't stale, they were stuck to the bottom of the jar.
yeah, that's when they're good.
I don't know about that.
Has everybody looked over for the resumes for the PW 6 position?
In here?
I need copy the resume for the moment.
I don't know. Oh,
But
I got them here.
I have them in here somewhere, but which ones are we looking into?
I don't know, that's up for the people to decide.
What?
You can take it.
No, suppose they're not.
What?
Does it have to be an executive session
What?
to discuss a
Mm.
potential employment of a new
Yeah.
employee?
Oh,
It does?
I think so, yeah.
I thought so.
I think so.
But
Absolutely.
We've always done it in an open session.
Well, they don't actually work here, so
Yeah, but I mean, if they're,
I'm not gonna talk about you right now.
no, but I mean, they could actually
their employer could see it if they were trying to look for another job.
Oh, okay. Yeah, true.
It's all like,
Yeah, because it's, yeah.
right. I said, we'll have to go to executive session.
Well, it's up to you fellows. If you wanna go into executive session on it, it's up to the committee here. You wanna go into executive session?
True.
Sure.
So we got nothing. Oh, I see, just follow the tabs.
Do you want to go over anything else before we go into executive session, and then when we're done, we
Wanna
can just call it?
Look over,
Do you want to do the meeting minutes then, and then go into
wanna do the
executive?
minutes? And you, how about the superintendent's report?
Yep, you can do that too, whatever you guys
Wanna
want.
do the superintendent's report while you're right here?
That's fine. Okay, so, CM has started on the phase 3, because we got all the signatures last Friday. Got it to them, so they started this week on phase 3. All right?
Yep.
What's the board's pleasure about the dump truck?
Well, I thought that was going to the, Camp Quaney, wasn't it?
No, the new dump truck that we got the article for.
My opinion is to put it
Michelle.
on hold. Not in favor of it.
You wanna leave it on the article?
Leave it on the article.
Just let it sit there.
Let it sit there and we can discuss it the next time.
Okay.
All right? That's the one, that- oh, you only got what, one for the MAC and one for the
Yeah,
international?
yeah.
You got the two, right?
Yes.
Okay. But if we leave the article in there, so it'll go on, it's on capital improvement and all that stuff?
Yeah, it's already done, it's done deal. The article will just sit there with the money in it
Okay,
until we do something with
so
it.
that we can,
So it's actually, it'll be off the capital. Capital won't see it again.
but if we've got it on the line, if we wanna do it, it can be
We
done.
can pull a trigger anytime you want.
Okay.
Yep.
What else you got?
Meters. I need to
Yeah,
install
we-
some meters, I gotta do something.
What are we gonna do about the meters? Are we gonna go through and
Did we ever
have,
get the price from that guy? They ever give a quote on installing? The guy that was here?
Well, he was waiting to hear from us, because if he was gonna purchase the meters and put everything through him, or not, or.
it's a
or
different
what we
price
were
than if
gonna
we
do.
bought all the meters.
Right,
So he wouldn't give us a price if we bought the meters and he just
well,
installed
he
them.
would, he just didn't know what we wanted to do. See, it's kind of a catch-22, if you purchase everything through him, then if there's an issue with something, you call them and they deal with it. If we buy the meters and there's an issue with the meter, now it gets thrown in our lap
All
to
right.
deal with that meter, which is fine, it's up to you guys how you wanna.
But the thing about it is, are you gonna do the whole town all at once? Or are you gonna do half the town at once?
I thought we
Don't know what
were
it
gonna
got.
get up.
It's up- up-
I always said that we, talked about.
I
breaking
thought we
it up.
were gonna change to the meters.
I thought we were gonna break it up, though, not do it all at once.
That's what I
It's easier
mean.
for the guys. Do it all at once and.
But we gotta know the cost.
Right, it's basically $1 million to do it.
All right, can we, we haven't got $1 million to
No.
do it. And it's gonna cost you
But-
$500,000 if you do half of it.
Right,
And if you do $500,000, then it leaves us without any capital to do anything with. Correct?
kinda sorta, yeah. But doing all those meters is a major capital thing.
If we knew
Takes money
the,
to make money.
Yeah.
if you, do it on a 5-year bond,
Well, I mean, personally, I think we could do it in 2 or 3 years, just out of our surplus. I mean, I can sit down with Todd and
That's
go
what I
over
mean.
numbers
We
and
gotta
stuff,
figure
but
out
I
the
think we
numbers.
could do it.
But if we could do it in 3 years
Yeah.
for that amount of money and still have capital to work,
Yeah.
all right? That's, as far as I'm concerned, it's fine with me. I don't know about the rest of the board. But I would definitely like to
I
see
thought we, you know,
the town set up
3 years.
with 1 meter throughout the whole town.
Right.
I think the whole town's gonna be better off. I think we can make more money from it.
Your revenue will
And,
definitely increase.
You wouldn't have to worry about estimated readings anymore.
But if we're gonna change, can we make a vote to, at least he can purchase a few cases, so whatever meters are being put in now will be the new style?
And you could just retrofit them? When we got to that, you mean?
Well, you wouldn't retro, I mean, if we're gonna do,
No. if you-
Well,
if
yes.
we're gonna go Neptune, then
Correct.
why
Yeah.
put in census if we're gonna go Neptune?
Right.
right.
I know it's, you don't worry about the billing right away,
I'm not even
Right.
concerned about the billing, I'm concerned about, if we're gonna go with the new Neptune meters, shouldn't some of the guys get like trained on what we're purchasing? Is it feasible for them, how's it gonna work?
Well, let's put it this
Well-
way.
Type of thing?
It's easier to put a Neptune in than it is a census.
yeah, very easy, there's
It's a
no,
lot easier.
in,
Yeah, but I'm
and,
sure we could
They're
have
gonna need
somebody.
training though, aren't
Yeah.
they?
and-
cause
and
we went
We
to,
can.
we went
Yeah.
to Neptune.
Okay,
And if we get them through Joe or whoever, it doesn't
Mhm.
matter,
Yeah.
they will come in with the meters and say, listen, guys, this is what you have to do. You need a flashlight, you need,
right, training.
activate, yeah. But
Exactly,
it is, it is very, very
Not-
simple.
Not, I'm sure it's
Not, there
very
you go.
simple, but
Right,
yeah.
No, it
Yeah.
won't.
Okay, well,
But it's just kind of silly to be, if we are going to make a decision to change, then why would you want to keep putting census in?
No, that's what I mean.
I mean,
I'd like to have a
At
motion
least start
from the board
purchasing a little bit now.
to put in the new style meter,
Yeah,
and
but
he
if
might
he's
have to
got meters that need
purchase
to
a
go in
few.
tomorrow, what are we doing?
You got,
Well,
what,
we have
15
census. We have,
out there.
we've been buying a case or two at a time to
Yeah.
limp us along, because there's new homes going in and things of
Yeah.
that nature. And I need meters to put in, so.
We have to put the
But if we made a
But-
vote on it, I mean, he could make a phone call tomorrow and get them.
That's what I mean.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But this is the thing too, is we have to look into the legal end of it, is because we can't just decide to go with I have to talk to Gene and see how you guys did it, because you can't just, there's other meters out there, other meter companies out there, and we can't just pick them off the shelf, because if that's the case, then the new dump truck, we could go get a Cadillac. Do you know what I mean? You gotta get prices.
We have to put a bid out for
You got-
meters?
It's gotta be bid, it's gotta be all
yeah, I
that,
mean,
but,
you would just-
but, with the issues that we've had with census, and this is, I'm assuming this is how Gene did it, the spec that goes out is specific to something that you know and trust,
Yeah.
hence Neptune.
Honestly, I don't know that end of it, but.
I'm pretty sure
you
that's
do, you
what
have to,
happened.
I know you
go
have
out
to
and-
bid
Well, you
if it's
get with
over
Carol
X
tomorrow
amount
and
of
do this
money.
tomorrow,
Yeah,
and send the letter out. And no, there's no sense of just sitting around here.
right, okay,
If you gotta get 2 or 3 bids, get 2 or 3 bids.
yeah.
But I would think the only time you'd have to bid is if
Yeah,
it's
well, I
over
gotta,
20,000,
yeah,
right,
before,
something?
well, we go to town meeting every year to get 75,000 for.
Correct, but you're not taking 75,000 and spending it.
True, true.
But I think the law is, if you buy something over such amount of money, you
Yes,
have to put out 3 bids.
20 grand, 25,000?
I think it went to, I'll have to double check on the 30B, but I think it went to 35,000 2 years ago.
But yeah, you can ask
You
Gene, I
have
have
to
no
put it in
idea.
the newspaper and everything.
Well-
Don't you? I mean, that's
I
the
don't think so.
procedure, right? That's what we did last time.
Yeah, but
didn't
see,
we?
this is,
You gotta meet a line.
if we wanna go with
Right.
Neptune, the spec gets written, and the bid goes out there, and nobody bids on it, because nobody can bid on it, except for
Maybe
Neptune.
maybe you
There's
need
a
to
way,
call
there's a
Joe
way around it.
And see if he has a,
What?
maybe you should call the guy from Neptune, see if he's got a
Yeah.
spec.
Well,
That
that's,
he can float you,
exactly.
that he can create for our water department, and that's what you put out.
Yeah, I mean, I may have to call town council as well, to make sure everything's done right, but I just don't wanna do it.
Well, just do it the right way, so we won't get in it.
Okay, and I'll go
Alright,
at,
so we wanna do it, so we need to get a price to basically change the town's meters whenever it gets done, but it needs the, his quote for us to do the work, it needs to be done over a 3-year span. this other guy that's,
Well, yeah, it has to, yes, yes.
so we gotta get a hard number from him. So we know that we don't wanna do it all at once, that we're gonna do it over the course of 3 years, so that's what his
I think the
quotes
general
do. We're gonna get
consensus is 3
valves
years,
from
right?
him,
Mhm.
and then
That's a
figure out
reasonable
how
quote.
we go about putting
Three
the bid out
sections of town.
for, to get Nexus.
Okay.
For the new valves, I mean, but you gotta do them both, you have him work on the number and then work on however we need to get pricing.
I'll send Todd an email tomorrow and meet with him next Tuesday to talk about
Yeah.
financing.
All right,
Okay, master plan. They had a couple more questions that we've taken care of, and we should have that by the end of December, as they tell me.
they've made all the changes?
Correct. They had a couple of questions because of the changes, and I went over them with the guys today, and I'm responding to them. I haven't finished my response to them, but I will have that tomorrow done for them, so they can move forward. Okay, so, okay. Hydrants, we have 5 left. We're doing another one tomorrow. And next week we'll do more.
And Selco's gonna
No
do
problem.
2 of them.
Yeah, yes, if that's, yeah,
Well, I think we've already discussed that.
yeah,
Okay,
well,
so if they do 2, you've
Yeah.
got 3 left to do.
right, got 3 left to do. It'll be done, 1 tomorrow, leave us with 2 left. And I'll find out exactly when Selco can come in. Okay, the capital budget plan is out, came out today. I have water mains and I have meters on there. Does anybody have anything else?
Well,
We're good with vehicles.
So-
I'm following the schedule for our
Well, the
vehicles.
truck's already in there, so that we can
Right,
do
but I'm
that.
talking
You're
other
talking
trucks.
products.
Yeah.
Because that's basically all we got, right? Meters and water mains, and gates.
And gates.
Yeah.
Don't forget the gates.
So
Okay.
has the budget been increased in any areas?
Really the only area so far, the only increase is gonna be in salaries. As this side letter is trying to accomplish, so I can't put any hard numbers down there because I don't know where the salaries are going. But as far as the budget and all the line items, everything, every line I am level funding except for chemical. Our chemical prices change every year. We're in the chemical consortium, which is it's about 20 southeastern
Towns all
Massachusetts
together.
towns. They all bid together to get a lower price, so. But chemicals still go up, but it's only gone up about $5,000. So that includes 10% contingency as well. So the line for chemicals would be like $33,000. So I go over how much is used and everything, and I get a price. All I can kind of work with is a price that it isn't official until April of next year. So, but I have to kind of guesstimate where it's gonna be. So I use previous years, and then I have to increase it because the chemical consortium doesn't get their prices until April, but this is due the end of this month, so, the budget is, so.
Yeah.
We're gonna have numbers put in.
Okay.
And then if it doesn't get used, it just sits right there, you know? So, other than that, it's just the new salary slash promotion slash reclassification of the union, the union members.
If we decide to go that route.
Right, yeah, I mean, that's the only thing that's really going up, because like I said, I've level funded everything, and we've been pretty good, you know, we've been right around the teens. I think, yes, last year we were 17% under, you know, underspent, so we're pretty good.
Okay.
Um,
That's everything you have?
Budget, and, just a quick note, I've got prices, for the well rehab, and, they're cheap enough that I might do a second one, because I have the money. We've got 20,000 to do the well rehab, and I've got, the lowest bidder right now is under 10. So I
That's
might.
for number 4?
Yeah, so I might have him do number 5 as well. But the reason I got it so early is because now I can give, I can tell him to move forward tomorrow, and as long as he gets it done in the next 2 months, I'm good, it's not gonna affect me.
Well, we aren't pumping as much water
Right,
now,
right,
too,
so
so
we can
you'd
relax.
be better off to do it now.
Yeah,
All right?
yeah, so that's all I have.
And what about old business? Anybody got any old business?
I think we can review the old business next meeting and stuff.
Okay,
Still
well,
talking.
the only other thing we got now then is
Yeah, I think,
the minutes of the meeting for November 15th. That's all we have, just the one?
We have regular meetings and executive meetings.
There's only one here.
Well, what happened to the other one?
But this one's done,
What,
October
you
11th.
had
And
an
there's a second set there.
That's on those.
That's the executive.
I signed it.
Oh. He signed it.
Pretty sure I did. Can find it.
It's just not that. There we go. Yep.
All right.
But we had I put 2 sets of meetings in regular and executive.
Yeah.
Everybody, yeah, no, but I mean this.
Yeah, here?
Oh,
Where's your other pad?
the sign back?
Those are 2 signed ones there.
Correct, thank you.
Oh, thank you.
What's this one? Oh, that's Ernie's hand, look. I only got this November 15th.
Okay. I'm wondering if we should approve the executive ones in executive session.
One of these is executive.
One's regular. That's the regular. That's executive. And the one I gave you was.
Okay.
Not just the notes I took.
Have anybody read over the meetings for the 15th for executive session and for regular meeting? We can vote on the same time, I think, can't we?
Yeah, I
Just here
guess.
discussing.
Well, if anybody's got anything they want to discuss on it, now's the time to do it.
I mean, if there's any errors, in other words.
We can't discuss most of the stuff that's in there, because it's.
Right, that's what I'm trying to
Yeah.
say.
Yeah.
That's executive session?
Right,
No, I'm saying even in the regular minutes, they're.
oh, yes, the interviews, yeah.
So we can't discuss any of that.
No, but
No,
I mean, if.
but everything
you-
else is fine.
If you see any errors, it's, just, you know, if you see any typing errors or anything. You know, what I mean, the.
Typo?
The
If
the
anybody,
regular minutes are what they are.
I'm fine with the regular meeting minutes.
Okay.
These executive ones that kind of came out.
well, you wanna vote on the regular meeting for November 15th? Somebody make a motion?
Make a motion to approve the.
Bill made a motion,
Second.
and Dennis seconded it, all in favor? 5-0. In our executive session, when they get through reading it, I'll entertain a motion for that also.
You just want to staple mine to yours, or?
Yeah, that's fine. Do yours need to be signed?
I don't know, I put a little spot on there for him to sign it anyway,
Okay.
because there's basically clerk notes,
Okay.
but they're about the same anyway. I think somebody was copying my book. We share.
We're on the same page.
That's right. Always. Great minds think alike.
Mhm.
I'm good with that.
So, do the motion for those, or?
I think they're still reading, aren't they?
Oh,
Dennis is done.
I'm all set. Oh, I'm all set.
I'll entertain a motion for executive session if everybody's read them.
Motion.
Bill's motioned it,
Second.
Mike seconded it. And all in favor? 5-0. And now, going into executive session, number 3, to discuss strategy with respect to collective bargaining and litigation, if an open meeting may have a detrimental effect on government bargaining and litigating position.